What is up, everybody, and welcome to a work in progress podcast, or as I like to call it, a whip. I am Eli.
And I'm Louie.
And today, our table topic is nostalgia. The most important thing for nostalgia, that we all know what nostalgia means, is a feeling of wonderment that you get from something of long ago. Not necessarily long ago, but even maybe a little while back. But the most important one that I think hits close to home for everybody
is what is it? What is it called?
What, a work in progress podcast?
No, I know that, but nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
It means enjoyment. I thought it meant something that
a sense of wonderment.
Like you see back in your life, and you're like, oh hey, I used to do that or see this or
yeah, it's like the feeling when you're an adult and then you get a Capri Sun and you're like, oh dude, throwback to the field trips where you go to the museum and then they go and they sit you out to the park and you got your Lunchables and your Capri Sun. Okay. That's what I mean. Okay. But the most important thing that people feel nostalgic about more than oftentimes is cartoons. Cartoons are like these little animated amazing things that you watch them and it's like you're a kid again, regardless of what age you are. You remember, sitting down with your siblings, eating cereal and watching, these cartoons like SpongeBob or, Hey Arnold, Invader Zim, stuff like that. And personally, for me, one that I had always wanted to see and I wasn't allowed to watch as a kid was Ren and Stimpy. And recently, as an adult, I started to watch them and oh my god.
Well, I started to watch them, and then I showed you that one where they disguise themselves as fire hydrants, and I was like, yes, dude, this is so hilarious. I'm like, if we were taught, we're still funny. A lot of people would say I'm funny, but I feel like that would have made us hilarious.
Yeah, and then that's the thing too, is that cartoons influence people a lot. But what I was saying is that the whole reason too that I started to watch Ren and Stimpy again was because Funko bought out the Pops and there were chases, and I'm like, I wonder why the chases for Ren and Stimpy are spotted, and I want to have a reason. And then that's when you told me, oh, it's because of that episode where they paint themselves as Dalmatians.
For fire, because they want a job, and so they go. And I saw that episode. I think that was the first episode I saw, and I was like, holy snap, this is funny as hell.
Because I look back and I was rewatching episodes, and there was one little. You know how it's 2 episodes in one? It was one of those, and I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, I remember seeing this when I was a kid, and it was the first appearance in Ren and Stimpy of Commander Hoek and Cadet Stimpy.
Whoa.
And it's when,
wait, the episode had just come out when you saw? Oh, no, it wasn't even then.
No, yeah, it might have been back then when it had first came out.
So it was a new episode when you saw it?
Maybe. Maybe it had been out for a couple months. But I remember I had seen it. And I don't know, I guess it put off my parents, but in that episode, Ren goes insane, and then he starts to eat ice cream, and then it turns out the ice cream is soap, and you look back at it and it's just pure stupid comedy.
But then you would see why a parent would get mad if they come up and they see their kid watching that.
I mean, I guess it's because too people.
But for us now, it's not. We're if our kids ever do that, we're gonna be like. We saw that as a kid. We didn't turn out that bad.
But I mean, too, it's not to normalize it. But regardless of the what I'm saying is when I talk about the feeling of nostalgia in cartoons, it's when you watch an old show one of the early episodes of SpongeBob, and you're like, oh, I remember this one.
I'm trying to think of one that I had like that.
See, for me, the other day I was at work and I was at lunch, and on Amazon Video they have the first season of SpongeBob. And I was watching the one where SpongeBob has to take pro to the prom.
Oh.
And Mr. Tall, Tan, and Handsome or something like that. And it's what I was maybe. SpongeBob came out in 2000, so I was maybe 6 or 7 when it came out, and I'm 21.
But there's memes that show you that again, because I saw one and I forgot who was making fun of it.
Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome. That's what it is. But I mean, even then, you go back and you watch the episode and you're like, dude, these have to be some of the funniest
things ever.
Yeah.
You watch it again, and we were watching Ren and Stimpy, and I was literally crying for how bad I was laughing. Like, it just makes you laugh. I don't, like, it's just stupid things that happened.
Like, it's crazy how the shows back then kind of paved the way for the shows now. Because when you think about it, shows like Regular Show and, like, Adventure Time, like, those weird shows that just have, like, weird stuff in it. Like I mean, in Adventure... Not in Adventure Time. In a Regular Show, they have, like, cosmic babies that, like, rule the universe.
Which is, for me, that was my stuff. That was born in that era.
Yeah.
So I saw Phineas and Ferb. And I'm not saying I didn't watch all the old Nickelodeon's cartoons. I did. Actually, I've seen, like, almost every season of Rugrats, Hey Arnold, because they were all on Netflix for a while. But my time was more Phineas and Ferb, Adventure Time, Regular Show. What other... Was that it? There wasn't a lot.
There wasn't a lot.
Wait, what would you consider Fairly Odd Parents? Because I do remember watching
Fairly Odd Parents was more
okay. But, like, something
stuff.
that did make me nostalgic was, I remember watching The Best Day Ever for SpongeBob, staying up that night.
I remember when mom stayed up with us that day.
And then watching the first episode of Phineas and Ferb. I do remember that day. That was dope. So, but those are some that make me, like, nostalgic. And then I would stay up till... I wouldn't say 12. You were right. I would stay up till, like, maybe 10, 11 to watch Invader Zim. And there was this weird show. And it was a guy, and he worked at a Chinese place. It's called Three's Company. Three
Delivery.
Three Delivery.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that show so much.
But the thing, too, that I was telling you that on Nicktoons, a lot of the Nicktoons that came out on that channel that was, like, specifically just for, like, the cartoons that they would show on Nickelodeon, a lot of it was Canadian TV shows. Because I remember when Wayside School came out, and then My Dad is a Rock Star, and it turns out that none of those shows were, like... The only reason we saw them was because they were on the DirecTV Nicktoons channel. They were never premiered on the U.S. Nickelodeon.
One that I loved was on the Disney Channel, The Replacements. Do you remember that?
Yeah, see, I'm almost 100% sure that The Replacements was a Canadian cartoon first.
Oh, I love that one. And then sometimes I would stay up to 2 for this because I know this. At 2, it would show the Buzz Lightyear show.
Oh, Buzz
Lilo
Lightyear,
and
Star
Stitch.
Command.
And Kim Possible, and I would stay up to watch. I don't know why Kim Possible was up at like 3 in the morning, but I would stay up to watch Buzz Lightyear, Lilo and Stitch, and that one. And yeah. I think no.
And then what else is cool is too, like, I mean, like I said, this is gonna be based mostly on nostalgia, but and then you start to think about like all the live action shows, and like what it's come to since then. Like in my era, it was, I don't remember. The Secret World of Alex Mack, even though that was right around my corner. I don't remember ever watching Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
I wanted to. I still want to because, like, I always look like people are always like, oh, that show scared me so much, and I want to see it now.
Like, what I remember watching was, like, The Amanda Bynes Show, Drake and Josh, Kenan and Kel, all that. My Cousin Skeeter. Nobody ever talks about My Cousin Skeeter. And once again, I'm, like, 100% sure that My Cousin Skeeter was a Canadian-produced TV show.
I did watch all that, and I forgot which sketch always scared me that they did a lot. It was with Drake Bell and Amanda Bynes.
Was it the Hillbilly one?
Oh my! I don't know why, but there was this one. I think it had a baby in it, and it just scared me. I couldn't watch it anymore. I don't remember.
I think what's cool too is that like all that was like an SNL but for kids,
yeah.
Because they always had the musical guest at the end, and I thought that was dope.
So yeah, that one was cool. I couldn't think of any new ones. Like, for me, my age.
iCarly.
Oh, yeah, iCarly.
Victorious. I think after Victorious is when I started to, like, lose. They started to, like...
interest?
Yeah.
It's because you were just growing older, like...
Because I was getting older, but then at the same time, too, like... It's not that I was getting older, like, it was just becoming, like, really bad acting. And, like, really low production value.
That's true. I'm trying to think of any Disney ones that, like, I would have seen.
Live action Disney shows? Like Even Stevens.
Oh, Even Stevens was funny as hell. Even Stevens, The one with Sunny with the Chances. Was that what it's called?
That was also
so
Canadian. That was a Canadian. No,
they were Canadian?
No, it wasn't. She was Demi Lovato's Canadian.
Oh.
When the bell rings is the one where America's Disney was like, oh, this girl looks like a good actress for us. Why don't we bring her over?
I saw like the first 2 seasons of Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah, see,
like stuff I think that's when I stopped watching all that stuff. I do remember going on Boomerang, watching some Scooby Doo, Tom and Jerry. I'm pretty sure I've seen every
Boomerang is
Tom
where
and
it's
Jerry.
at.
It is. I forgot what other one I was gonna say right now. Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry's dope. I would always watch Dexter's Laboratory on there.
Yeah. Oh, see, and then you got like the Cartoon Network shows. They got like Johnny Bravo,
Powerpuff Girls.
The Powerpuff Girls. There's just like so many shows.
Oh, Kids Next Door. Kids Next Door was so dope.
Okay, let's see. We'll go back to the beginning and we'll think about like shows that we're talking about and like think about our favorite episodes. So, let's say for what would you say, like SpongeBob? Do you think you have a favorite episode for SpongeBob?
That'd be pretty hard. I'm trying to think. You don't have one, so I can start thinking.
Off the top of my head, I have like some favorite moments.
Like what?
It's because you can quote a lot of stuff in like stupid situations. Like
I'm never good with that though. Like with quotes and someone's like, "You get that?" I'm like, no.
Like what for SpongeBob?
Like I don't know. SpongeBob would be pretty hard because there was like a lot of moments in SpongeBob that were like crack you up funny.
I don't know. I feel stupid for me saying that I should be we should be the one to be doing favorite moments, and yet somehow I don't have one at the top of my head.
It's because it's hard to think of one right now. Like Texas is Stupid would always crack me up. I think my favorite episode was, I don't remember what it's called, so I don't. It's still my favorite episode because it just brings me back. The one where SpongeBob goes down to the city after going to Gulf World. Ken.
That's rock bottom.
I love that episode. It scared me, but I loved it so much. I guess it's because like all those weird creatures, but that was still dope.
That was for some reason one of the coolest but scariest episodes. That like even now when I watch it, I'm like, it's just so off-putting.
It's so weird seeing all the Scooby Doos. Like there's like 16 Scooby Doo shows. There was a new one, and I was watching it, and I was like, whoa. That's crazy. I don't even remember watching this one.
Scooby-Doo, I think, started in, like, the 60s.
And they just keep on redoing it with, like, different animations. Because the one I saw right now was... It wasn't the Mystery Inc. one. Because that one was recently, too.
And then they did, like... What have they done? Like, 3 incarnations of the live-action Scooby-Doos?
Have they? I only thought they did, too.
That was the movies.
The Cartoon Network version. Shows. Ben 10. I remember Ben 10, too.
Ben 10 was dope.
We had that... What was it called? It was the door hanger. And
no. That was, I don't know which one it was called, but it was one of the orange ones.
And he would scream when you open the door.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a door alarm.
I remember a bunch of kids had Omnitrix at school. Like, they would just bring them on their wrist. I'd be like, whoa, that's dope.
Omnitrix is dope, I remember.
What else? I'm trying to think of that era, too.
It's hard, though.
What about shows you're getting into now?
Shows I'm getting into now? See, that's a different thing, though, because, like...
Well, like I'm talking about shows you're getting into now, but we're old, like... Space Ghost. Space Ghost freaking hilarious.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
But that wasn't a kid show, was it?
Not really. But that's what I mean now, like, there's cartoons that you're watching as an adult and you're like, oh my god. Like, there's so many jokes I missed that, like, they're funnier now than they were then because I didn't understand them.
I do like a lot of South Parks. Old South Park was hilarious. Beavis and Butthead I liked.
I've never liked Beavis and Butthead.
No? You think their voices are annoying?
No, the animation was just... It looked too weird for me.
I hated that South Park animation, but like I don't care anymore because how funny it is.
See, I like King of the Hill. King of the Hill is something I can watch when I'm like super bored. Like when we had DirecTV and there was nothing on, I'm like, I'll watch King of the Hill.
There was always shows I wanted to watch when we were little, but we couldn't. Like Power Rangers. Power Rangers looked so dope because they were the red and green Ranger would look like dinosaurs, and I was like, I wonder why they look like that. Or like. I've always wanted to watch He-Man, and now that it's on... Is it on Hulu or Netflix? I think it's on Netflix.
On
Hulu, I'm going to start watching that. Because I think Pops influenced me to watch stuff a lot of the time.
But I mean, even then, like you were saying, like shows I watch now, like I think as soon as I hit 15 and there wasn't really anything for me to watch on TV, Netflix is where like I did everything. Like, I think because of Netflix, I watched The Office, How I Met Your Mother, Freaks and Geeks. Freaks and Geeks is a dope show that for whatever reason only got one.
That was crazy.
Season.
That was a good show. For Netflix, I saw Hey Arnold, Rugrat. What was your favorite Rugrats episode?
I think Reptar on Ice. That's one that I remember more distinctly.
The one I remember that I couldn't stop laughing at was the one where Tommy goes to the park and he goes on an adventure.
Oh my god.
And at the end of the day, he goes, "What are you going to do, Tommy?" And he goes, "Gonna go home, take a nap, some juice." I'm like, oh no. Like, it's so funny that a little kid would say that. I love that show too. Hey Arnold. I'm trying to think of other, like, it was Hey Arnold, Rugrats. What was the third one? I remember.
Cat Dog.
Oh,
we not talked about Cat Dog.
Okay, yeah, Cat Dog. Cat Dog always weirded me out though, because I was like,
I love Cat Dog.
no, I liked it. Those three meanies or bullies or whatever. I don't know why I said meanies.
They were dogs.
They always
dogs.
weirded me out because of how they were drawn. Camp Lazlo.
Camp Lazlo was where it's at too.
See, you have to, because we're not thinking like
Chowder.
Chowder. See, like there was. I remember I was like 3rd grade when Chowder came out. 2nd grade. Holy snap. Yes, because
because around 6th grade is when I got my nickname.
Chowder. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to be called Chowder for
some
stupid reason.
2nd grade was Chowder. What about Disney movies? You ever remember watching any Disney movies in the theater?
Disney movies?
I remember watching Finding Nemo.
Pixar movies I remember.
Pixar, never mind.
Well, Disney and Pixar.
Finding Nemo, I remember watching. Incredibles, I've always loved. I do remember watching that.
I think we want to go watch it like after Thanksgiving dinner, Eliy said.
Really?
Yeah.
It makes it even doper, but I just remember watching it and I was like, yo, Syndrome always scared me. Oh, Devil. The baby? The devil baby?
The demon baby? I had a nightmare because of that. That's not a conversation for this episode. But when we talk about movies from childhood that just like give you that
scared you?
No, give you that love that has to definitely be for me, honestly, The Lion King.
I think The Lion King's overrated.
Oh my god.
It's because everybody talks about it. I'm like, I always like
as much as I like The
Listen,
Incredibles, it pains me to say that one is overrated.
I'll give you. No, it's not. Yeah, it is.
That's everybody's answer. Whenever you guys gonna do what's your Pixar movie, dude, The Incredibles, like
that's because we're in Pixar movies, and I'll tell you why. I think that one isn't overrated.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, it's A Bug's Life, Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story.
No, okay, there. I can already stop your point.
How?
Everybody says Toy Story. I was about to say Toy Story right now.
Nobody, like maybe a handful of people.
Not even a handful, dude.
Okay, and then which one?
How many anniversaries have they bought out for? Every Toy Story movie. What are you talking about? How? Not even I can pick one. Toy Story's always like 2 for me.
Okay, let's. Okay, so I said A Bug's Life, Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. We got Monsters Inc. We have Cars.
Monsters Inc. Everybody always says too.
I've never heard anybody say Monsters Inc. is their favorite Pixar movie. Finding Nemo.
I've never really asked anyone what their... And it's Finding Nemo too, dude.
I don't think so.
Dude, I don't know. I always feel that Lion King is too long. I'll give you this. Songs are amazing. I do love Scar, and I don't know, Simba I kind of felt as if he was a baby. Because he was a baby for most of it, but then he's still a baby at the end to me.
How? I
just don't like it. I always get bored like quick. I'm like,
what?
Oh, when is this movie going to end?
Okay, then we won't talk about Pixar movies. Because we went from Lion King to Pixar.
Wait, Lion King is Disney?
Yes, Lion King is just straight up Disney.
I think then that is my favorite Disney movie because I don't like Disney Princess. I do like Tangled. Tangled was dope.
And Tangled.
I think it's because that was my time.
But there's that dinosaur movie that you like, and you like dinosaurs.
Which one?
Dinosaur.
The Good Dinosaur.
Just dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Yes, dinosaur.
That one is underrated.
Because
even I right now was like dinosaur. The Good Dinosaur.
No, just regular dinosaur.
I know which one you're talking about now.
I don't say the one with the talking dinosaur, but the Good Dinosaur is talking dinosaurs too.
No, yeah, I know which one you're talking about now. And then I gave that tape to my aunt, and I never got it back. I know my grandma. She asked for it, and I was like, okay. I never got my VHS tape back.
So I mean, all right, let's go from talking about our favorite movie as a kid, and let's start talking about. But I don't know if that's.
It has to be a cartoon movie as a kid.
Oh, if we want to talk about favorite cartoon movies as a kid.
I don't really, because I thought you meant favorite movie as a kid, because I don't remember one. Maybe. Oh wait, an old cartoon I remember watching a lot too was Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles was dope.
I don't remember watching Ninja Turtles at all.
Really? I remember watching the 2000.
The live action one.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That one, and then I do remember watching the old one. The old one was dope.
The ones with the puppets?
No, the old one, like the old 80s, 89, 88.
That's really rad. Like those.
And I do remember watching the movies too. The movies were dope. I have the movie right there.
The Secret of the Ooze is where it's at, bro. Go Ninja, go, dude. Vanilla Ice.
Go Ninja, go. Okay, but what were you? Oh, favorite movie?
Yeah, favorite movie as a kid then, because
cartoon or
I think
both.
Yeah, we'll do cartoons because we were talking about cartoons for this.
Oh, yeah,
maybe getting too far from the mic. Five Goes West for me. The Iron Giant, Land Before Time. We're Back. We're Back is incredibly...
Stop, you're saying all of mine. That's not fair.
We're
Those
Back.
are all the dinosaur ones, and you can't say those because you know those
back.
were mine.
We're Back is an incredibly underrated movie.
No, that and the first and only good one, The Land Before Time. Because there's like 18, 19 of those.
I stopped watching Land Before Time after like the fourth one.
I stopped watching it after the first one. Why would you even watch 2, 3, or 4?
I think the last one I saw was when Spike can talk. Something happened.
What?
They allow that weirdo.
No, that's
to start talking. Yeah.
It always made me sad hearing what happened to Ducky.
Oh, I know, but that's not a conversation for this podcast.
Hollywood for you.
But cartoons. Okay, so like the Muppets 2 is something really cool.
I remember the first time I saw the Muppets, we went to go rent movies, and you're all like, "Let's watch the Muppets." I'm like, I want to see freaking
the Muppet Show?
Muppets talking, and that was the one with it was best Muppet moments, and it started off, and the first one was Mana, and that's what got me like, this is amazing.
Really?
I heard Mana, and I was like, oh, this is so funny. And I was like, yo, this is pretty dope. Like, with all the guest stars, too. I forgot who. I saw Luke on it.
I wish there was a lot more shows that had variety like that have celebrity hosts, and that was actually good.
One shows that I remember we had on VHS that we watched a lot was The Little People.
The Little People?
Like those little toys, The Little People.
Oh, yeah.
And then The Firefighters, what was that called?
Oh, fuck.
See that
Rescue Heroes!
That makes me nostalgic. We had an episode of the Muppet Babies, which I loved.
Oh,
dude, I think the ones that makes me really nostalgic is the Banana Brothers. What are they called?
Oh, Bananas in
Pajamas.
But
there was that specific episode, the I like to eat.
I don't remember that.
And we had it on VHS.
I remember having the VHS tapes, but I don't remember that episode specifically.
I do remember that one. That one was... It's always weird seeing stuff on VHS.
True. But I think all in all, it's cool because I'm assuming that nostalgia is like a scientific reaction that people have, that you can see something that automatically triggers this sense of wonderment in your mind, and like it doesn't even stop at cartoons. Like I said, I don't know if it was in this one or did we restart it when I was talking about the Lunchables.
I think you restarted it.
Yeah. So what I was saying was that like
no, it was in this one. Because I was like, what's nostalgia? I was like, I wonder if you guys gonna stop. But like, I know this is getting away from cartoons, but if I was born in the 90s, there was so many good shows back then, in my opinion.
Like what?
Like X-Files. For me, it's X-Files, Twin Peaks, Firefly. Was that? Oh no, that was 2000s. But still, like, I'm always watching interviews for Twin Peaks, and everywhere says that that's what started TV for us. That's why TV is like this.
What?
Yeah, they said
what
that.
Came out? What? You don't have your phone. What came out first, Twin Peaks or X-Files?
Twin Peaks came out like I think 1 year because David Duchovny was on Twin Peaks. as a transvestite. Oh, I love that. But yeah, they said that because of its weirdness, that started basically American TV. And I was like, whoa. Like, I always hear people credit it, like, oh, Twin Peaks started TV, this and that. Like, whoa.
So, like, the movement of, like, weird TV shows. Because when did Law & Order start?
I guess it's because it was a big step because a director decided to do a TV show.
This is true.
So, I guess it was mostly that people were like, whoa. There was a lot of shows I would have loved to watch back then, though. Like, it's kind of hard to watch stuff now that was in the 90s. Because, like, you get spoilers. Like, the whole I See Dead People, I knew Bruce Willis was dead. Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert. Bruce Willis is dead the whole time. Like, you can't watch movies anymore.
I mean, from what I've heard, I think what they say about spoiler alert is true. If it's on DVD or video already and you get it spoiled, that's your own fault.
No, it's not.
Even if it's like, oh, dude, but, like, I barely found out about the movie and, like, I wanted to watch it. But it's, like, it's been out since, like, the 90s, though.
But
like,
that's not, like, my fault.
It becomes, like, common knowledge to people.
Something
like, for someone, like, if you're barely going to get into Star Wars, and then you're like, what? Dude.
Well, they're bringing out new movies.
Like, okay, no, I know, but still, like, I'm talking about, like, the OG ones, and you're like, oh, what? Darth Vader's Luke's, like, father? Like, dude, I barely finished A New Hope. Like, I was, like, waiting to find out about that in The Empire Strikes Back. Like, I wanted to see what happened. It's like, dude, The Empire Strikes Back came out in the 70s. If you did not know where they reference that mother everywhere, that's your own fault for not having seen it yet.
Stuff I keep watching that are old, like, keep coming back. Like, some examples were X-Files. I was already X-Files season 2 in, like, 2015. Mm-hmm. And they announced they're bringing out a new season. I was like, whoa.
But I think they had been talking about it since, like, 2012.
Probably, because they, you know how, this is a spoiler for Twin Peaks. Remember how I told you that at the last episode, Laura Palmer tells Dale Cooper, see you again in 25 years? It would have been 25 years, 2017, but he couldn't do it because Showtime would have let him do some stuff, and I was like, that kind of sucks for continuity, but other than that, it was pretty dope.
What about stuff that, like, as a kid you weren't allowed to see that now you see? I mean, we talked about Ren and Stimpy, but I still haven't seen Aladdin.
Pokemon.
I don't know.
Like, the whole Pokemon Go craze, I was like, yo, this Pokemon's dope, or something like that. What'd you say?
Like Aladdin, the genie.
Oh, I would have.
I've never seen Aladdin, but I love the genie. The Simpsons. I don't know how we haven't talked about the Simpsons, because the Simpsons is one of the most purest and most hilarious up until season 10. After season 10, it's pure garbaggio.
No, well, there's some like rarely funny parts though. You can't say there wasn't.
But I mean,
was season 10 the movie time?
No, I want to say that was like season 19.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And I mean,
okay, sorry, what?
Talk about, like, adult cartoons, too. Since we are on the topic of, like, cartoons in general.
For me, it's South Park.
The Simpsons.
Some Family Guy, like, the beginning was
like, in the
Robot Chicken.
In the earlier seasons of Family Guy, it was funny, and then it just got to a point where it was like, let's see how extremely stupid and offensive we can get without being funny. That's what
without getting in trouble, you mean?
No, not even that. Not even without getting in trouble. Like, South Park has pushed the bar on so many things, but it's funny.
That is true.
And, like, South Park, it's like, oh, look, a joke about rape.
South Park? Are you talking about Family Guy?
Family Guy.
Okay.
Like, it'll be like, look, a joke about rape, but and it's like.
But South Park would be like that, but it'll make it funny.
Yeah,
but it's not for everyone.
Yeah, no, and not that rape is funny. Not that rape is funny.
Or you should die. That we're not saying that.
It's dark humor, but what we're saying is that there's a way to deliver it where it's funny, and there's a way to deliver it where it's just like you did it for the sake of saying, haha, I made a rape joke.
I'm not saying that you're a baby if you get offended, because I do get offended at stuff, but in this day and age, there's stuff like It's Always Sunny. That's dark humor now. Was it?
But that's not what I'm saying either, because Family Guy isn't necessarily dark humor. It's adult humor.
No, yeah.
It's adult humor.
I guess no, but that's to you. It's not funny. There's someone out there.
I know there's people that are like, "Oh, dude, The Simpsons is trash compared to Family Guy," and like,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I know you're not.
Find Simpsons funny now, rather than back then.
This is also true.
So like, there's people out there that are like that.
What I'm just saying is know how to make your jokes.
But yeah, like a really underrated one was Space Ghost. I thought Space Ghost was Batman, and like I never knew what Space Ghost was until I was 12. Mm-hmm. That's when you had the shirt, and then I saw it last year when who died, Brack or Zorak?
The guy who did the voice of Zorak.
Are we saying Zorak right? It's Zorak, right?
Yeah.
Brack.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Zorak.
Okay, yeah.
Martin, it's out of respect. It's Martin C. Croker, I want to say.
Yeah, we're sorry about, but when he died, I learned about it, and it was like, oh, since he died, they're putting up all the episodes, and I was like, might as well start with episode 1, and I was hooked on it.
And I think I could do a pretty mean Zorak impression. Do it. Do you think you could do a better one?
No.
It's Zorak.
Whoa. Okay. I didn't expect that.
Bring me the asses so I can kick them.
No, see, I can't. I just go. Oh,
I cannot do for the life of me. Like Rick and Morty. I can.
Let's talk about modern day cartoons.
Okay. See, so we're talking about, we go from nostalgia and we're gonna jump to. So this episode will be mostly like nostalgia cartoons and in the modern age.
I don't think there's a lot of good cartoons, but
and see, it's not even that. Like the cartoons that are funny these days are like all the adult cartoons. Like, South Park is still running.
Oh yeah, but they are. I heard they wanted to stop, but I think they got renewed for 4 more seasons.
Yeah. So, Rick and Morty is so good.
But hold on, something I found funny with South Park was political jokes, but they're not making that anymore because the joke is in real life now.
Yeah, because sadly, the political humor has now become a real thing. And once again, that's not a conversation for this this episode. We'll have another episode where we talk about it, but. Regardless of, we're talking about cartoons in the modern age. So, like you were saying, South Park is an incredibly well-written show.
And same writers.
Yeah, they've had the same writer over all the years.
Rick and Morty, obviously.
Rick and Morty is so great.
I don't feel like there's a lot.
I remember having seen it the first time, like the first episode, and I was like, this isn't funny.
What?
No, and it was like the first 5 minutes that I was watching it.
I never saw it until 2015. I always saw clips, and I was like, people are always waiting for season 3. Or no, 2016, I think. And I was always like, people are always waiting for season 3. I was like, might as well catch up by now.
Yeah.
Season 3 still hasn't came out. What the hell?
I remember in the first episode. I know I keep yawning. It's because I'm a little tired. But in the first episode, I finally continued to watch it. And it's the part where Rick and Morty are getting chased through the
airport.
Through the airport, airport? Yeah, and Rick tosses Morty a gun, and he's like, "Whoa, what do I do with this?" And he's like, "Oh, Morty, you gotta shoot the bugs, Morty." And he's like, "But they're people." He's like, "They're just robots, Morty, robots to this empire or something like that." And then he shoots one of the bugs.
Makes you smarter, no?
Yeah, no, but that's the whole C thing. But then Morty shoots one of the bug guys and his arm comes off and he's like, "Oh my god!" And then Rick is like, "Oh wait, I thought you said these were just robots." And he's like, "That's a metaphor. They're robots to society." And then the guy's like, "Tell my family that I love them." Oh, dude, I thought that was so hilarious.
It was. It really
that's honestly what got me to watch more episodes, stuff like that. And I mean, the writers...
I don't know. I just like the animation, and then it reminded me of... They look like Marty and Doc on purpose, and it's I always find that funny. You think it's Marty and Doc doing those...
But I mean, the creators
stuff.
too.
Justin Roiland
and Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon apparently has done a lot of stuff. The one that he's most recognized for, though, is Community.
He did that?
Yeah, he was the one that created Community. And during, I think, the 4th season, is the season that a lot of people don't like, he left to work on Rick and Morty.
What?
And then on the 5th season, he was like, all right, I know that the 4th season did pretty bad without me, so I'm going to come back to the 5th season and help.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it 6 seasons in a movie?
Yeah.
Are they on season 6 or no?
They finished season 6, and we want to get that movie! I don't know if a movie would work, because everybody kind of left.
You don't know, but it's kind of pissing me off that there's no recent Rick and Morty season 3 yet. I heard that they can't figure it out what happened with Rick. And I feel like that it could just be that in the first episode, I think it's one of the first episodes, Rick gets in trouble with this bad guy, and he's in a simulation, and I feel like that could have just like, boom, like that. Oh, the whole 2 seasons were just a simulation, in a simulation. So like, I felt like they could have just done that.
I was being unprofessional. I'm gonna go grab chips.
So you went to the bathroom. The chips are in the bathroom.
And to go grab chips.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if you wanted me to say you were in the bathroom. Well, that was like, you just washed your hands, I think. But anyway. Oh, did we even say our favorite movies?
We were talking about them, and then we straight off into modern cartoons. We didn't even mention Bob's Burgers yet, though.
Oh, it's because the new season's pissing me off because they took like a 6-week break. 2-month break. I was like, 2 months.
Shows have been doing that lately.
And it pissed me off, and I was like, I'm not going to watch this anymore. Like, I had to wait this long and then even longer. No, I'm going to wait for Rick and Morty because of that ending. Like, what's it called doesn't have, like, it isn't following the story, Bob's Burgers.
Mm-hmm. Rick and Morty was.
And I'm waiting to see what happened to
Rick and Morty moderately follows the story.
No, it moderately does, but that last episode was a cliffhanger. So that's what keeps me like, I'm going to wait until it comes back, okay?
True.
I need to wait. I need to see what happens. Regular show recently ended.
Oh.
That was so sad. I remember watching the first episode of Regular Show and then told I wasn't allowed to watch it.
It's because, like I said, it was one of those shows that, like, it's
stupid
so
stuff would happen, yeah.
It's good. But, oh my God, hats off to the creators of Regular Show for ending the show the way it did.
Do you only like it because of the song?
Not just that.
It made me sad because I saw the first 2 seasons and I was like, this happened to them.
Not just that. They've always been smart enough to work with the nostalgia factor.
Uh-huh.
Video games, 80s movies, stuff like that. And they've always integrated 80s songs. Okay.
Oh.
But
everybody's. I remember that episode.
The way that the series finale ends is, you gotta watch it for yourself. But they use David Bowie's "Heroes," which to me is
that was song. A good use of Heroes. Cause
yeah.
Whatever happens in that, someone is a hero in that.
Uh-huh.
And it did make me tear up, even though I didn't watch the rest of the episodes. It's like, oh man.
I'm like 5 seasons behind on that show.
Eli, it's on like season 16. I think. Yeah, dude. You're like
I got chips in my nose. But it's my dog in the background. But regardless of, I think the way it ended wrapped up the series perfectly.
Mm-hmm. It does make you want to cry.
It made me cry.
Oh, well, only if you watched it, like, here and there. You'll be like, oh, man. What about stuff that you weren't allowed to do when you were younger, or see? Now that you're like, what the heck, I missed out on that, or something like that?
Ren and Stimpy has to be the number 1 right now that I'm thinking about.
Not only cartoons, though, like something, anything.
Like
for me, it's horror movies.
Oh, but see, like, the whole horror movies thing is like a different conversation for a different day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but for show-wise, for me, I never think there was... Oh, Pokemon, I said? I started watching Pokemon. It's pretty... I don't know, it was good. What else?
I don't know. I guess if we don't really have anything more for cartoons, I think this is where we should say finito to this episode of A Work in Progress. I don't know, Louie, what do you think?
Yeah. El fin.
El fino.
Is that how you say it in French or Spanish?
French.
El fin?
Uh-huh.
El fin. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, because my dog is being an obnoxious snub, I want to say thank you to everybody who made it this far and listening to our podcast. We really appreciate it. We're going to attempt to record a lot more of these. Hopefully we get some sponsors. like Squarespace, Loot Crate, stuff like that.
Made me react.
You never know.
I'm saying, calling it right now. If we do this frequently, I'm saying in about a year, maybe, just maybe, if we do this frequently, we'll get a sponsor. We need to like. This is why I was never a part of all this right here. But I am willing to do stuff, so I will encourage Eli so we can make more videos.
Yeah, because I like to be a little lazy bum when it comes to...
So I'll just be bugging Eli a lot and be like, let's make a video today.
And that's why it's going to be called a work in progress, because it will forever be a work in progress. This will never end, hopefully. And even if it does end, we won't say that it ends, so that technically it'll forever be a work in progress, because, like, I don't know, maybe a couple months later, a couple weeks later, a couple years later, I could be like, hey, welcome back to the next episode.
No, you have to do an old man voice.
Welcome back to the very next episode.
Go get me my juice.
So, yeah. So, I am Eli.
And I'm Louie.
And thank you for watching, or listening to, because we didn't record ourselves. Thank you for listening to A Work in Progress. Don't forget to stay awesome.
And we are
out skis.